Hey everybody, welcome back. I thought I'd jump on because a lot of people are getting laid off in tech this week, and I thought I'd share some valuable advice when it comes to that next interview. Or maybe you just landed that interview and that's why you're watching. And you're psyched. You finally just landed it and you want it bad. Well, I've hired over 400 people in my career and I've interviewed over 4,000. I've hired for client-side corporations and I've hired for agencies. I've been on portfolio review boards of the San Francisco College of Art and also the AIGA. I've hired full-time and I've hired part-time. I've hired freelance. I've seen candidates hit it out of the park and land that perfect job. I've also seen candidates destroy their chances of ever getting that position that they wanted so badly. I know what works in your favor and what doesn't. There are some things you should definitely say in an interview, but I want you to make sure that you stay to the end because I'm going to share with you the one thing that you should never say in a job interview. Okay, let's start by talking about some of the things you should definitely say and do. First, make sure that you do some research into the company that you're interviewing with. Read their Wikipedia entry if they have one. Read their About page on their website, or a few of their blog posts. Read any current news you can find about them. Look what they're posting on LinkedIn. You want to start off the conversation in the interview by commenting on something that you've read, something positive about it. Or you can ask a probing question of your interviewer about it. This shows them that you're engaged and that you're paying attention and that you're curious and that you want to know more about the company. Now, everyone is nervous in a job interview and that's okay. The interviewer knows you're nervous and that's okay too, so don't apologize for it. Now, it sounds stupid, but sit up straight. Don't slouch in your chair like you're too cool for school because you're going to come across as arrogant. You want to act interested. You don't want to be a dud. Just like when I do videos, when I record a video, if I talk just like normal, I come across as absolutely dead. So when you're in an interview, you want to act interested. You want to pump yourself up a little bit. You want them to see that you're sharp. The energy that you bring to an interview is the energy they expect that you're going to bring to the job. Even though you're nervous, don't talk too much. But also, don't clam up. Try to be present and aware of the pace that the interviewer is setting. Now next, it's never a bad idea to ask the interviewer how they'd actually like to proceed with the interview. Would they like you to formally present your portfolio to them, or do they want to just flip through it by themselves? Now there's no wrong way to do it. Every interviewer is different. Now, don't freak out if they flip through your portfolio really quickly. They've probably seen thousands of portfolios and can absorb it quicker than you think. Be prepared to describe the business problem that you were addressing in the projects that you worked on, not just the design aesthetics. You want to dress nicely, but try to do a little research into how people dress at that company. Is it business casual? Is it dressier? Is it just jeans and t-shirts? You want to make sure that you're dressing for the job that you want. So after they've asked you a few questions, be prepared with a few questions of your own. This is going to show that you're interested because they want the job to be a good fit for both of you. Here are a few example questions. What's the title of the role? Simple, but it's a great question. Who is the direct manager of the role? Is it actually the interviewer? Because it may not be. You may actually be talking to someone from HR or a more junior or even a more senior person. What's the day-to-day look like for this position? Also, here's another great question. What are the top 3 priorities for someone who's in this job? Who are the key business partners that you're going to be working with? Will you have direct client contact, or maybe it's just going to be internal partners? Here are a few more examples. What are the key priorities for the company right now? Now, this question is a kind of an interview hack in a way. Why? Because it gives you the information that you can actually leverage when they start asking you questions. You want to mirror the answers that they give, meaning if they say they're doing a lot more video in the company, then hype up your video editing skills. Or if they say they're doing a lot more conferences or events, then you can hype up your interest in environment or display design. You can also ask, who do they see as their competition? What is the competition doing that they find interesting, or possibly even scary or challenging? Do a little studying about who you think their competition is, and maybe come up with a question or two about something that you saw in the competitive marketplace, and ask them what they think of it. And next, you can ask them what are the qualities that people have who succeed in the company. This gives you a great little peephole into the culture of the company, what it's like to actually be inside and what they appreciate. Now, I want to take a quick break and tell you about a cool group I've started. It's called the Brand Design Masters Facebook group. It's a great community of entrepreneurs and creative professionals who are networking and giving feedback to each other and sharing news and resources and trends. It's a really cool and vibrant group. To join the Brand Design Masters Facebook group, just go over to facebook.com/groups/Brand Design Masters. And now would be a really great time to hit that subscribe button and bang that notifications bell so you can get alerted when I post something new or when I go live. All right, now back to the interview stuff. Now next you want to ask the interviewer, how long have they been in the company? How long have they been in their role? What's their role? What do they do? Asking questions like this makes you look interested, but there's also a really subtle psychology at work when you do this. People love talking about themselves, and what happens is that the interviewer will transfer that positive feeling to how they feel about you and how they remember you. I know it sounds a little weird, but I guarantee you that it works. Another question you can ask is, what is the eventual growth path of this role in the future? Now, you don't want to sound like you're going to be pushing for promotion the second that you walk in the door, because they want to hire someone who wants the job that they're offering, not someone who's going to be dissatisfied immediately after they start with the company. But it also shows that you are ambitious and you want to move up in your role and also in the profession. Okay, so now let's talk about what not to say in a job interview. Here is the biggest mistake that people make in a job interview, and that is, drum roll please, trashing your old employer. And if you just got laid off in the tech industry, you probably are a little, irritated by the fact that you've been laid off. So you don't want to take that baggage, that negative baggage that you have to your next interview. You don't want to be bad-mouthing your old manager or bitching about the culture or talking about your crappy coworkers or the clients who are a pain in the ass. Now, both you and the person you're interviewing with know you want to leave your current place of employment, or that you just got laid off and you're looking for a new role. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting there. But you need to think about it from the interviewer's point of view. If this person is talking badly about their old company, they're going to think, am I next? What happens when they leave here? Are they going to be bad-mouthing me to their next company? I don't want that to happen. You want to characterize your old employer in a grateful way. You want to say, I contributed X, Y, Z to that company and I brought really positive results that they appreciated. Then they might ask, then why are you wanting to leave? You might say, well, I've always wanted to work for your company. Or you wanted to build a level of experience before moving up to a role like the one that you're interviewing for. You might not have had the opportunity to grow, or you weren't being challenged by the work anymore at your old company. Think about what you're going to say, how you're going to characterize that experience in a positive way, because bad-mouthing your old employer is the kiss of death in an interview. Don't be negative about anything. Any hint of what I like to call dirty diapers is a hint of what they can expect from you when things get tough. Now, a couple other things. Make sure to bring a printed resume. I know it sounds totally old school, but it can be really helpful to the interviewer. I can't tell you how many times I was rushing to an interview and I couldn't put my hands on the resume of the person that I was actually interviewing. So, bringing a printed resume can really be helpful if you end up needing it and if the interview is actually in person. Now, the next one is a yeah duh, but don't be late. Arriving 10 to 15 minutes early for an interview is not a crime, and it won't make you look too eager. It will make you look prepared and responsible. And remember, when the interview is over, it's not actually over. You want to make sure that you ask about next steps, about when they're making their final hiring decision. And finally, be sure to thank them for their time and reiterate your interest in the job. You want to make sure that you finish up strong and with a really positive attitude. If you need help acing that job interview, reach out to me at philipvandusen.com because I do creative professional career coaching. And whether you're a creative industry newbie or a seasoned vet who's looking for that next promotion or a pivot, we'll uncover actionable insights and build a step-by-step plan to help you achieve your professional goals. So, thanks again, and bye for now.